Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to the channel. I'm Heather and today we are going to be opening a 10-pound mystery box from Mood Fabrics. If you are new to the channel, I do a lot of sewing and fashion content here, so consider subscribing and coming along for the journey. Now let's dive right into this box. Okay, so I have this giant box of fabric that came in the mail. This is not my first time opening a Mood mystery box, so I will leave a link overhead and down below of the other video on this channel. I think this might be the fourth one that I have done, but I've only filmed one of those four. So the 10-pound box is going to be fabric that they are either phasing out, dead stock, etc. And there can be damage to the fabric, so something to keep in mind if you're gonna order one. I think they are $54.99 plus shipping, but I will put the price here on the screen for you. And in the past, I had two and they were really good. But the last one I got was honestly spectacularly bad. So just again, fair warning, you are of course taking a risk by getting a mystery box, but I liked the other two enough that I was like, okay, we'll just see, we'll do this one more time. So let's dive into this box and see what's in here. Whew, okay, so I've got it open here. You can see on the top, there's just some plastic covering up the different fabrics. Just at first glance, it looks a lot more promising than the last box. The last box had, I think, like 3 lining fabrics, and then it had the ugliest butter-colored, I don't know what kind of fabric it was, to be honest, maybe a canvas of some sort, and then there was upholstery fabric, which I don't do and just personally don't have an interest in. And so it was just not a good one for me. This looks more promising, so I'm excited to get into this. Oh, the other stipulation is cuts of fabric are generally 1 to 3 yards, but 3 yards being the max. So also something good to note if you're going to get one. There will not be any descriptions of the material either. There's not like a master list telling you what each fabric is. So having some familiarity with fabrics is probably a good thing. Or, you know, if you have one of those books on the different fabric types that you can skim through, or if you got a good friend that knows a lot about fabrics, also just something to suggest, just know that you aren't gonna have like a breakdown of the actual makeup of the material. All right, so the first fabric right on the top here is this deep navy blue. It is really nice. I like this color a lot. I am not 100% sure on this blend. I would say there's definitely some cotton in this, so it's definitely got some weight to it. Yeah, not 100% sure on the blend here. It's kind of a mid-weight with some structure. And again, I love the color here. Let's see on how much yardage we might have. Someone told me to put it to my nose instead of to my arm. So let's see here how much I've got. One. So it looks like maybe about 2.5 yards here. So a nice big cut. It also might be a wider fabric. It might be like a 55 inches what it looks like. So this is actually maybe enough to make some pants with, which would be great because it's got a little bit of a denim look since it has ribbing through the texture. Yeah, I might make some pants with this. I do really like this. I love the color, and it's kind of nice to have something that is sort of between a slack and a denim. So yeah, I'm happy about this. All right, next up we have, I believe, some chiffon, and it's a really cool print. I really like this print. Very interesting print for sure. This could also work really well. I am actually taking a trip to Italy at the end of May for a week. One of my really dear friends is getting married and I'm in the wedding, and then our wedding anniversary is over that as well. So we're just kind of extending and doing a little Italy road trip. So I'd been thinking about doing kind of an old Hollywood hair scarf. Maybe I can make a hair scarf with this. I'd say this is like the full 3 yards, if not a little bit over even. So I've got a nice big cut of this. Do I want to make a hair scarf, or is this too cool and I need to do something different with this? What do you think of this print? It's got like black and this really beautiful peacock color and sort of a tan and just black accenting going through. This is really lovely. I really like this. So yeah, so far so good. I don't see any damage on the first two here. I'm not seeing anything, you know, any cutouts or any staining or anything like that. I think I've only had that happen on one cut of fabric I've gotten in any of these boxes, and it was minor enough that you could easily work around it. So I've been really happy about that. All right, next up, I think, what do we have here? I think it's a satin, a black satin fabric right here. You can always use black satin. It's a thinner satin, so this would also be good for like a lining of some sort. But I do believe it is a satin, about 3 yards again. So a nice big cut. That's always super appreciated when that happens, because of course I don't expect that in these mystery boxes necessarily. I know you can have up to 3, but I don't expect to have such big cuts all right on the top. So far, I'm really happy with this box. These are all fabrics I would absolutely pick out for myself. Maybe one of the most successful boxes so far. We'll see what we keep pulling out here, but so far we're 3 out of 3. I'm really happy about this box. All right, the next cut of fabric is very interesting. It is in this chocolate brown, but there is sort of a sheen on this material. It's definitely heavier weight. It's pretty stiff. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what this is. I'm kind of leaning towards some sort of twill-ish blend, but it's dense enough. I'm not 100%. But this little subtle sheen is kind of cool. See how much yardage we've got here. 1. So this looks like just over maybe 2 yards or about 2 yards. It's definitely a wider cut. I do like this. I'm not sure what I would do with this one yet, but again, another nice big cut with, I don't see any damage on it or anything, so we are doing good. If anybody has a guess on what this might be, let me know. It's got sheen on one side, it's matte on the other. You do see a little bit of that faint ribbing texture through it, but I feel like it's got a little less drape than most twills. Not that twill has a lot of drape, but this seems even stiffer than that to me, if that makes any sense. A little bit of sheen on the back. All right, the next fabric I believe is a lining fabric, and it is in this pumpkin color. I feel like it's reading a little brighter on the camera than it is in person. It's kind of that rusty, yeah, like a pumpkin shade. And I will say I like this color a lot. I feel like it reads really orange on the camera right now, but it is like a true pumpkin color. And this is a color I really like that you don't see that often. So in the fall, I definitely think there's a way I could use this as a lining. I don't think this would be to everybody's taste, but I do like a good pumpkin color, so I'm not mad at it. This is about 3 yards too, so quite a bit to work with if I wanted to do something in that beautiful fall rusty pumpkin. And it's interesting because there's almost what looks like a texture in it. I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but I can't tell if that's just from being folded or if it's part of it because it looks so perfectly placed. So I guess I'll have to give this a press and kind of see what happens. But that is the only thing I'm seeing on this that's a little bit, like I said, unusual. It just seems so perfectly laid out like an embossed print or something. Y'all, there's a lot of fabric in this box. Holy cow. Okay, we have another cut of black. It looks like this, is this the same? Okay, these are a little different. It's another black. Now I'm thinking that the first one might be in a more silky category. Now that I'm comparing, and that this might be more of a, this has got polyester in it, I guess, is what I'm saying. So this is like maybe a poly satin here. Again, something I would still use. It's a good basic. About 2¼ yards maybe here. So I have been saying all year long I need to use more solids because when I go shopping, which I really don't do a ton of clothes shopping anymore since I sew now, but I have been saying I do tend to gravitate towards solids when I shop, which is true, but then I go crazy for a print in here. So I'm actually not mad that I'm getting so many solids, and I do like a good black silk satin because I do like bias cut things and I like just that overall look. So these are pieces I would both use, you know, fairly often. All right, so the next piece I've got here is interesting. I'm sorry if you hear my kitty outside. She always wants to be in the sewing room, but she can't. They're too mischievous. They get into too many things. So she's not happy with me right now. But this is some sort of a cotton blend for sure. It might even be 100% cotton, but it's really cool because it almost looks ribbed probably on camera if you can even make that out. But it's almost like sheer pinstriping through it. It's these really fine sheer stripes going through the fabric. See if I can grab a scrap piece here and maybe that will help that be more visible. I'm not sure if that helps at all, but it's just this really fine kind of sheer pinstriping between the white. It's really cool. I actually really like this. This would be great for a blouse of some sort. Again, it's almost like over 3 yards, so I'm just really happy about that. This would be so great for a blouse or a button down or something like that. And I like that it's got a little bit of sheerness to it. That's kind of nice, especially this time of year. So once again, I'm really happy with this. Okay, next up, I'm excited about this. This box, I think, is the best one I've gotten so far. So it makes up for the last one, which was absolutely terrible. So this is really cool. We've got another pinstripe, but it's black and white. And again, it's got kind of that silky, satiny feel to it. And this is just such a classic print, right? Black with some white pinstriping. All of this is speaking to me so far. This box is very much a Heather box so far. And I'm hoping I have a decent amount. This would be great for like a spunky little vest or, gosh, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things you could do with this. I really, really like it. So we've got, let's see, 1, 2, like 2.5. So yeah, I'm getting really big cuts in this box too, which also makes me really happy because the other boxes I've had, I usually do get at least a couple big cuts, but these have all been really decent sized cuts. So it just gives you so many more possibilities as to what you can make. Oh, I'm really excited about this. Okay, the next fabric. I don't dislike it, okay? I'm just terrified of working with it. It's a fabric I've been avoiding working with. And it's like a knit sequin fabric. So it's gray and it's got sequins. I feel like this is reading way shinier than it is in person. It's actually a pretty subtle sequin in person, but it's got these clear sequins all running through what I would say is like a jersey knit. You can see over here with the stretch. So it's really interesting. I would say there's maybe around 2 yards or just shy of 2 yards of this. Yeah, maybe about 2 yards. This could be good for either like a V-neck sort of sweatery like jersey top or an actual like a wrap sweater or something like that. I just have to get up the nerve to work with sequins. Now maybe these are a really, really fine sequin, so maybe I could actually run right through them. I don't know. Someone let me know down in the comments. I know with the bigger ones, you're doing a lot of like cutting and preparing, but this is a really, really fine. I mean, we're talking like a 1/16 of an inch sequin running through this whole fabric. So this is, again, I don't dislike it. It's just an interesting one that I'm going to have to put a little more thought in how to use. All right, and I do have one more cut of fabric, and then there's something else in the bottom, and I'm not sure what it is yet. Maybe sometimes they will put in little trims and things, so maybe it's a little bag of that. We'll check that out here in a second. But I'm also excited about this because I think it's a wool, and it is a really pretty wool, and that is this piece right here. It's just, this is nice. It's black and white. It's a really thick wool, definitely on the thicker side, but I really like it. Now I think with this one, it's maybe just over a yard, so I don't have a ton to work with, but this might be good for like a winter mini skirt, something along those lines. If anyone else has any other suggestions, let me know for sure down in the comments. I do feel like this is the type that will fray really easily, so I'm gonna have to be careful there. And I almost feel like, I really feel like this is wool, like maybe even 100% wool. So I need to be careful with how I treat this fabric as well. But man, 10 out of 10 so far with this box. There is not a single cut in here that I'm unhappy with. Okay, y'all, this is genuinely bizarre. I don't think this is from Mood. There's like another person's name and label, and I don't know how this ended up in my box because I don't even think that this is from Mood. The box is pretty banged up, but not to the point that I would expect this to be in here. I'm very confused. So that's a new one. I guess I will be going to the post office and talking to them about whatever the heck is going on here. It seems like it's vitamins. So how a vitamin package for another person in another place ended up in my Mood box is the actual mystery of this box because that's very bizarre. Anyway, in regards to the box, I really am, like I said, thrilled with this box because I got all large cuts except for the wool, which is completely fine. I never expect to get as many large cuts as I did here, and they all very much suit my style and aesthetic, and they're all very versatile. The size helps you make a more versatile item. So yeah, I'm just really, really excited for making some of this. I don't know where I'm gonna start. I'm just kind of looking at the pile over here. I could see myself pulling out the poly satin or the silky black at any point. I'm constantly using stuff like that. I kind of think in a way I'm really excited about the black and white pinstripe and the white like shirting cotton that's got the sheer striping through it. That one's just really appealing to me, especially again going kind of into spring months here. I can see some things I might want to make with that right away. So yes, this was a huge success. Like I've said, this is, I think, the 4th box I've done, and I have liked all but one. So take that into account when you're purchasing it, of course. But let me know what you think about the fabrics down below. If you liked them, didn't like them, if you had a favorite. I always love chatting with you down in the comments. And of course, consider subscribing if you are new here and enjoy this type of content. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I always appreciate that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.